Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday Tips, Cut the Gibberish. I know I look a little different today. There are technical difficulties on my end, but they're being taken care of. And if I can switch it out to the normal screen, I will before this is over. But welcome to Tuesday Tips, Cut the Gibberish. Come on in. I'm excited for you to be here with me today. If you are joining me live, please do let me know you're here. Let me know where you're coming in from. Today we're going to talk about striving for the best. You know, a lot of us are business owners. Some of us may have been in business for a while now. Even if you're starting out, you're still going to be striving for your best, right? So as a confident person, I try to prepare for the worst, but strive for the best outcome. Just like today, you know, I could have said, okay, I'm not going to do Tuesday tips because I can't get my screen the way it's supposed to be. But no, I'm rolling with it. We can still do Tuesday tips. It doesn't matter what the screen looks like as long as the message is the same, right? So we're rolling with it. To some, this may seem a bit of a cynical mindset, but it's not. It's about looking at possible outcomes at any situation and being prepared in case things go south. Exactly what happened to me today, right? As I'm getting everything set up to do my the Tuesday tips, I can't get my screen to, adjust the way it normally is. So it went a little bit south, but that's okay. The show goes on, right? So it's about looking at possible outcomes in any situation and being prepared for them, okay? It's not one of those things always go wrong. You know, at least I do my best to stay on the positive note, okay? Some people may or may not do that. But I think it's good to be aware of the possibility and have action steps ready and in place to go just in case it does happen, right? Just like today, I said, well, we're just going to roll with it like it is. We're still going to do Tuesday tips. So do I expect things to go wrong? No. Do I expect them to go right? Also, no. I hope for the best and take the actions I feel are needed to achieve the outcome. So today, am I having the exact same outcome? Absolutely, because I'm still sharing the same information that I was already prepared to share with you. No matter if you can see me full screen or see my slides full screen, that part doesn't matter. The message is going to be the same, right? So again, I hope for the best and take actions that I feel are needed to achieve the outcome that I'm looking for. The key is to separate yourself from the emotional part of the what if. What if is two small words, but have such large and great meaning behind them sometimes, right? So when you start thinking one way or another, you create a bias that can influence your outcome. And when you don't get the outcome you expected, it can be emotionally crippling, right? It's like your world comes crumbling down. Now, if I had looked at the situation today in this aspect, we wouldn't be having Tuesday tips, right? I would have just canceled it altogether. But I didn't do that. I'm still going to get the same outcome because you're still getting the same message, whether you can see me or not, full screen or not. And you don't have a plan for it if it happens. I didn't have a plan for today because my tech is a little off. It's okay. I'm still going live. That's the most important thing right there. I can still do my live, whether it looks like it normally does or it doesn't. I can still do it, right? So a lot of people, when this type of things happen, they give up. That's where solution-based thinking comes into play. Yes, we want the best possible outcome in any situation. Of course we do. But what will you do if that isn't the result? What next? It's important to have something in place in case you need to shift to the what next, right? Even on a small scale. So stop and think about that project you're working on right now. You have a plan of how things will go, but if they don't go that way, but what if they don't go that way? What if someone else drops the ball? Because we've all had that happen before, right? What if something happens that causes you to be behind schedule? Again, it happens to all of us at some point or another, right? Take a few minutes to think through those situations, the what ifs. Make a plan. It doesn't have to be super detailed. Just jot down the basic to get started. Don't let it send you down a rabbit hole or a wild goose chase. It's just an in case situation. You have this all written down. You have a plan in place in case you need to use it. Okay. This all seems really simple, and it is. However, more often than not, I see people lose their minds because something didn't turn out as planned. I chose not to do that this morning when I was preparing to come live for Tuesday Tips and saw that my application was having issues and I couldn't set it up the way I normally do. Yeah, it becomes a problem. We let it become a problem, right? And it doesn't serve you. It won't solve the problem, right? If I had chose to cancel today's Tuesday Tips, what problem was that going to solve? It wasn't going to solve anything. It was just meant that I would not be able to share the information that I was wanting to share with you today, right? It wouldn't have solved any problem whatsoever because, the platform I use has to solve the problem. I don't own that platform, so they have to do it. That's why it's important to think things through a bit before you even start. Plan for the worst, yet also plan for the best. And you'll be able to handle almost anything life sends your way. Right? So if you have any questions about what I shared, please put them in the comments below or send me a private message. I'll be happy to answer your questions. I also want to invite you to the Networking Method Launchpad. It is currently going on. We have done part 1 and part 2, but you can still sign up and join us because when you sign up, you get invited to a private Facebook group where the launch is actually taking place. And the replays to part 1 and part 2 are in that Facebook group. So you can still go catch up, catch up. And then join us tomorrow, April 30th, for part 3. And to let you in on a secret, there's going to be a bonus session too on Friday. So you haven't missed everything. And the most important pieces and the most important parts of this training will be shared in part 3 and in the bonus session. So you still have time. You still have time to catch up with parts 1 and part 2. I will share the link below this video for you to go ahead and sign up so you can be invited to the private Facebook group where the Launchpad is actually taking place. It's a great training all about networking. You'll learn exactly what networking is. You'll learn some tips and tricks on how to make the most of your networking efforts when you attend networking events, whether they're online or whether they're in person. So I highly encourage you to join us in the Networking Method Launchpad. Like I said, it's not too late. Yeah, you may have missed part 1 and 2 live, but you can go back and catch the replays of those. And then join us tomorrow for part 3, and then on Friday for our bonus session that we're going to be having. A lot of good stuff being shared in this training around networking. So if you're new to networking, or maybe you haven't even started networking and you know you need to, then this will be helpful for you for sure. So I hope everyone has a great week, and I will see you again soon.